व्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरा वनजारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा श्रील प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा श्रील प्रभुपादा जय गुरुदेवा Gurudeva, Srila Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. We'll chant the invocation prayers together. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati ruttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistuki mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate kirim Yatkripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinadarinam Paramanandamadavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Canto 3, the status quo, and Chapter 3, further enquiries by Vidura, and text number 14. Aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte. Aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte. guṇānuvāda-śravaṇaṁ Murāri. guṇa-anuvāda-śravaṇaṁ Murāri. Kim va punas tac-caraṇāravinda. Kim va punas tac-caraṇāravinda. parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā. parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā. aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte. guṇa-anuvāda-śravaṇaṁ Murāri. Kim va punas tac-caraṇāravinda. parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā. aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte. guṇa-anuvāda-śravaṇaṁ Murāri. Kim va punas tac-caraṇāravinda. parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte guṇānuvāda-śravaṇaṁ murāreḥ kiṁ vā punas tac-caraṇa-aravinda parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte guṇa-anuvāda-śravaṇaṁ murāreḥ kiṁ vā punas tac-caraṇa-aravinda parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā. Vaishnavis. aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte guṇa-anuvāda-śravaṇaṁ murāreḥ kiṁ vā punas tac-caraṇa-aravinda parāga-sevā-ratir ātma-labdhā. Word to word meaning. aśeṣa, unlimited. Saṅkleśa, miserable conditions. Śamam, cessation. Vidhatte, can perform. Guṇa-anuvāda, of the transcendental name, form, qualities, pastimes, entourage and paraphernalia, etc. śravaṇam, hearing and chanting. Murāreḥ, of Murāri, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead. Kiṁ vā, what to speak of. punaḥ, again. Tat, his. caraṇa-aravinda, lotus feet. parāga-sevā, to the service of the flavorful dust. ratiḥ, attraction. ātma-labdhā, those who have gained self-achievement. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Simply by chanting and hearing of the transcendental name, form, etc. of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Śrī Kṛṣṇa, one can achieve the cessation of unlimited miserable conditions. Therefore, what to speak of those who have attained attraction for serving the flavor of the dust of the Lord's lotus feet? Purport. Two different methods for controlling the material senses are recommended in the Vedic scriptural wisdom. One of them is the process of jnana, or the path of philosophical understanding of the Supreme, Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagavan. The other is that of direct engagement in the transcendental loving devotional service of the Lord. Of these two most popular methods, the path of devotional service is recommended here as the best, because one of the path of devotional service does not have to wait for the attainment of the fruitive results of pious activities or for the result of knowledge. The two stages of executing devotional service are: first, the stage of practicing devotional service with our present senses under the regulations of the recognized scriptures, and second, attaining sincere attachment for serving the particles of the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord. The first stage is called sadhana bhakti, or devotional service for the neophyte, which is rendered under the direction of a pure devotee. And the second stage is called raga bhakti, in which the mature devotee automatically takes to the various services of the Lord out of sincere attachment. The great sage Maitreya now gives the final answer to all the questions of Vidura. Devotional service to the Lord is the ultimate means to mitigate all the miserable conditions of material existence. The path of knowledge or that of mystic gymnastics may be adopted as a means for the purpose, but unless mixed with bhakti or devotional service, they are unable to award the desired result. By practicing sadhana bhakti, one may gradually rise to the point of raga bhakti, and by performing raga bhakti in loving transcendental service, one can even control the supreme powerful Lord. Om Ajnananda Mirandasya Jnana Jnana Chalakaya Chachurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yudapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamcha Shri Rupam Shakrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvaidam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Śrī Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Bhagavatam Grantaraj ki Jai. Ananta Kodi Vaishnavinda ki Jai. I welcome one and all to this Srimad Bhagavatam class, and I seek the blessings of great souls so that I can be a patra, instrument to deliver the message of the Acharyas. This verse is talking about devotional service. So this chapter is about further inquiries of Vidura. And we have seen already many a times the speakers before have mentioned the questions of Vidura. And particularly we see that Vidura is asking that how the living entities, when the Supreme Lord is there in the heart, why then their activities result in misery and misfortune? And for that, in 1 to 7, we saw the questions, and from 8 to 14 verses, Maitreya sage is answering to his questions. And particularly from 12 to 14, we see that he is giving the solution. And why they are in misery and misfortune is because of misidentification. He explains that. And he says the solution is devotional service. And we see that they are in distress because of the misidentification. And here very clearly it is said that aśeṣa-saṅkleśa-śamaṁ vidhatte. So there are very many miserable conditions. And you can see tac-caraṇāravinda, just by taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, what happens? Hearing and śravaṇam, just by chanting guṇā-anuvāda-śravaṇaṁ murāreḥ, just by simply hearing and chanting the transcendental name forms, one can mitigate all the miserable conditions of this material life. Just by hearing and chanting, if you can mitigate, then what to say or what to speak about those who have taken shelter and who serve the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, who are attracted to serve. A beautiful purport of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada gives us confidence, is nailing again and again into us. Hey, come on. Bhakti, it's so difficult. Srila Prabhupada says there are two methods. One is jnana, other is bhakti. And we have seen in the first canto of Bhagavatam that the learned transcendentalists, tadvidas, what they do, they know the Lord as Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Sabdyate. In the first canto, first chapter, 10th verse, we see that they know the Lord as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. And in this purport, we see that knowledge is required, to know the Lord. And that knowledge, or any mystic gymnastics, he's talking about dhyana. There are many yogas. We have seen in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord speaks about different processes. He speaks about karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, and he talks about bhakti yoga, which is the ultimate. We all know this famous sloka given by the Lord, 6th chapter, 47th verse. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo matah. Yukta tamo matah. Who is the greatest of all yogis? One who renders transcendental devotional service to the Lord is considered to be the greatest. And we see in 2nd chapter of 1st canto of Bhagavatam in the 10th verse, what is the duty of the living entity? The duty is jivasya tattva jignasa. He has to inquire about the absolute truth. And we see Vidra is inquiring. He is tattva jignasi. He is inquiring about the absolute. And we will see further in this chapter itself that he has further inquiries. He is asking more questions. Why? Devotees, they want to relish the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. They want to know more about Hari. So he is telling openly, I want to know about Hari. And the entire Bhagavatam goes with creation and answering the questions. So the whole Bhagavatam, starting from 1st chapter, 1st canto, we see there's a question by the sages, and we see inbuilt, there are so many questions and answers given by the different speakers. All is for what? To relish the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Śrī Kṛṣṇa. And we see verses in the scriptures, again from Srimad Bhagavatam. We see in 1st canto, 2nd chapter, verse number 6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yetor bhaktir adokshaje apratihata ye atma suprasidati. So what is the supreme occupation of all living entities? Its supreme occupation is rendering devotional service. Again, the next verse, 7th verse, he says, Vasudeve Bhagavati. You're all great stalwarts. Janayatu asu vairagyam na jnanam chayat ahaitukam. I don't have knowledge. Prabhupada is talking about knowledge. I don't have knowledge. Don't worry, the Lord says. I will give you knowledge. I'm so attached. Don't worry, I will give you vairagyam. I will detach you. Lord says. Detachment is given by the Lord. Bhagavad Gita also we see. Which is the verse? 10th chapter. The Lord says, I give you knowledge. Very famous verse. Tesham sadada yuktanam. He says in that verse, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Enayam enamam upayantite. I will give you the knowledge, the understanding, so that you can come to me. Lord is assuring, don't worry. I will give you the knowledge. So jnana I don't have, don't worry. Bhakti encompasses everything. It has everything. I will give you the knowledge, Lord says. Just do bhakti, do devotional service, which is recommended. And it is also said here that why we have to take the process? Because we have to control the mind. Already yesterday, Brajavinath Prabhu was telling how we can come to the stage of Nishtha by controlling the mind and the senses. Shri Rupa Goswami Prabhupada has given beautiful instructions in Nectar of Devotion and in Nectar of Instruction. Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction, and Bhakti Rasamrita is in the Nectar of Devotion. Anybody can become a devotee just by following the instructions. And the Acharyas give us the pathway, instructions, beautifully how we have to follow, how we have to go about. From morning to night, what should be our ways to balance life, spiritually and materially? Prabhupada has made, starting from Mangalarti till Sayana Arati, Prabhupada has given us the process. He never said, don't study, don't have material knowledge. He didn't say that. When one Mataji approached, Prabhupada, as a woman, can I study further? Can I do my PhD? Prabhupada said, yes, go on. We have, what is real knowledge? Real knowledge is knowing about both materially and spiritually. That everything is Krishna. That is real knowledge. Why we have to have that knowledge? Only if we have the knowledge, we can take shelter of his lotus feet. Otherwise, how will we take shelter? The Lord is independent. Abhigna Swarat. Swarat means completely independent. So, why this living entity is suffering? Because they have used that free will, independence, minute independence given to them, because we are all part and parcels of the Lord. We have come to this material. Lord also created this material out of love, so that we can enjoy. We want to enjoy like Him. He is a father, no? So what the father does? If you see, Prabhupada gives beautiful analogy in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Here, when talking about bhakti, there are two methods again said here. One is Vaidhi sadhana, regulated practice of devotional service under the guidance of a pure devotee and a spiritual master. And that leads to raga bhakti, spontaneous devotional service to the Lord. How is that possible? Again, we have questions. Bhakti is already there in us. It's dormant, it's sleeping. Just like a child. Prabhupada gives this analogy. In the beginning, the child has to practice to walk. Only by practice, without stumbling, the child can walk properly. Practicing. In the beginning, the child falls down. You can see the parents in both sides. So as the Supreme Father, why the Lord is not doing anything? The Lord has created this material so that we will go back to Him only. 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita says this world is place of misery, dukkhalayam asashvata. And we are anandamayo abhyasad. By nature, we are ananda, we are blissful, as we are part and parcel of the Lord. So we want happiness. More than happiness, we want bliss. So for that, this material world, as a father, he is created so that in one point of time, we all have this thought. If there is no school, there are so many children here, no school, you feel happy. Oh, holidays, happy. So enjoyment all the time, no suffering. Enjoyment all the time, how it is. So Lord is telling that His world is full of enjoyment. In all scriptures, in Bhagavad Gita also, He talks about the material world and the spiritual world. Here also, in Bhagavatam also, He speaks. You can see that again and again. How to perform devotional service, how to serve the devotees. We see that. So by regulated practice, just like the real, it's not artificial. Child walking is not artificial. It's real nature. That's a natural for the child. So bhakti is natural instinct in the living entity. It's already there for everybody. That's why we want to serve somebody or the other. We keep serving X, Y, Z, anybody we see in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. If nobody is there, we serve the living entities like animals. We have pets. Somebody we have to serve, that's all. But whom we have to really serve? We have to serve the Lord. Because we are, our position is that we are servants of the Supreme. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, in 13th chapter, verse number 80, it is mentioned, Gopi Bhatur Pada Kamalayo Dasa Dasanudasa. How is the servant? A servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of the maid servant of Krishna, who is the maintainer of the gopis. So we are gopis, maid servants, who serve the Supreme Lord Krishna. There are very many people who keep asking, in ISKCON you say only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. You don't say any other God. There are so many forms of God. We again see that there are so many references given in our scriptures that the original Godhead, He Himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Śrī Bhagavan-uvāca, I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And there are so many references given again to reinstate that He is the original God. In Bhagavatam itself, in verse number 28 of the first canto, third chapter, we see Eta chamsa kala pumsa. Krishnastu Bhagavan said, He is the original Lord. From Him comes many, many incarnations. Why so many incarnations? Again, all that incarnations is because the devotee wants it. We had Snana Yatra recently. And Lord is in elephant form, Jagannath Baldev, and Suvidarma is in lotus form. Why is that? It's a desire of the devotee. Once Ganesh Bhatta, a devotee, went to Jagannath Mandir. He is an ardent devotee of Lord Ganesha. And when he sees, he can see only Ganesha. And Lord Jagannath is Paramatma. He is there in everybody's heart. And he assumed the Hathi Vesha, the elephant. Hathi means elephant. Vesha means form. He assumed that form. Baldev is in white Hathi, white elephant. Jagannath is black Hathi. And he could see that and he was relishing that. So the Lord assumes different forms according to the desire of devotee. We see in May we had Nrsimha Chaturdashi. Nrsimha came as half man, half lion. Why? He is Lord, right? Why should he come in that form? And he came from a pillar. You see, again, Prahlad Maharaj, when asked by Hiranyakashipu, is your Lord here? Is your Lord here? He is asking. Yes, yes, my Lord is everywhere. Then Hiranyakashipu said, He is in this pillar? Yes, He is in the pillar. So Lord came out of the pillar. So Lord assumes form according to devotees' desires. He is controlled by love. Because of love, He does anything and everything. Love doesn't expect anything in return. So our bhakti should be like that, unmotivated, uninterrupted. We should not expect. What is pure devotional service? Anya bilashita sunyam bhakti rasamrita sindhu says. So there should not be anything. Everything will be shunyam, no abhilashas, no desires. Srila Prabhupada beautifully mentions in his purport, what is desirelessness? Desirelessness is wanting Krishna. Hey, that is a want, isn't it? How can that be desirelessness? That is real desirelessness. Wanting Krishna is desirelessness. Anything and everything aimed at Supreme. So devotee, pure devotee, is so engrossed just by practicing, abhyasa yogena. In 12.9, the Lord says to remember. How to remember? I don't know. He says abhyasa yogena, by practice. Remember me. And there is a proverb in English, practice makes a man perfect. Keep practicing. You will get it. Again, again, again. Keep doing it. You will achieve it. Success is guaranteed. Start from the beginning. They took a movie out of this, recently. With this practice, just practice to make perfect. You will become perfect. Success is guaranteed. If you fail, practice, start from again, from beginning. They have done this. Logic given in scriptures. given by the Lord Himself. Practice. So, I am a sadhaka. I am a devotee. Will I become a pure devotee? Forget it. The answer is already given here by the acharyas for us, by the Lord Himself, that yes, because we by nature are servants of the Lord. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, we already, even the Lord Himself says that we are all Nityadas, we are all eternal servants of the Lord. So, by practice, we will surely attain the Supreme. So, by sadhana bhakti, by rules and regulations, why that rules and regulations? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, our Acharya, he saw the Vaishnavas, they just were not following the rules and regulations. And they were becoming Vaishnavas. They are not following the methods. So he started Namahatas, congregations. It was started by Nityananda Prabhu, the congregations. Mahaprabhu himself, the Lord Himself came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to give the love of Godhead. He gave us the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kali Yuga is difficult. This Kali Yuga is golden. The time which we are in is golden. Where by just practicing devotional service, we will go back. And I keep saying this. Prabhupada says this, so we are all followers of Srila Prabhupada. That Prabhupada eschews going back home, back to Godhead this lifetime. So have that faith that our spiritual master, we are all disciples, grand disciples, great grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada. We are all connected to Srila Prabhupada, who is the Samtakapacharya, he is the founder Acharya. We are all connected to him. So Lord will surely take us back to Godhead by following the pure devotees, by doing Vaidhi. Automatically you start walking. You see, we are all walking now. How is that? In childhood you practiced. So we will become, by Vaidhi, we will become Raga Bhaktas. Oh, will I get Raga Bhakti? Yes. We have great many examples in the scriptures. Sri Madhavendra Puri, he is the spiritual master of Advaita Acharya. Also Ishwar Puri, who is the spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, in 4th chapter, we see the devotional service of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was a great devotee of the Lord. And he went to Vrindavan. When he went to Vrindavan, he got ecstatic. Sometimes, I am just a sadhaka. I am not even a neophyte. But when I see the Lord, without my knowledge, sometimes tears come. It happens to many of us. We get goosebumps. So, a devotee of the Lord has Ashtabhava, 8 ecstatic symptoms. I was so deeply engrossed in his ecstasy, he forgot to eat, drink. He was fasting totally in Vrindavan. Vrindavan is the land where Krishna himself manifested, appeared. The Lord appeared and disappears. So Lord appeared in Vrindavan. So it is his land. The eternal abode of Lord is Goloka Vrindavan. But we have a replica here. We are so lucky that there is a replica here, where Lord came and performed so many pastimes. And he became ecstatic. He is not drinking, he is not eating. He saw a cowherd boy, small boy coming to him, giving a mud pot of milk. Madhavendra Puri was shocked. And the boy is telling, please drink this milk. I know you are fasting. How come he knows that I am fasting? And he drank the milk. He didn't know that he is the Supreme. And he was just doing other things and he went to sleep in the night. In the sleep, the same cowherd boy came. And the cowherd boy is telling, Madhendra, come with me. He's taking the devotee to a deep jungle. And going there, he showed one place that was filled with bushes. He said, I'm suffering here from heat and cold and hunger. I've been put here by the priest because the Muslim invaders invaded. And my grandson Vajra has made me and installed me here. But I am here now, inside the sand, buried, suffering from heat and cold. Take me out and install me atop Govardhan hill. And he gave instruction, do like this. So deep jungle, the Lord has to be taken off. And then when Madhavendra Puri awoke, he understood this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Lord himself says, I am Gopala. Lord says, I am Gopala. See, when one is in pure devotion, the Lord exhibits himself. He becomes this servant. So you can see here that one can even control the Supreme Lord Srila Prabhupada's words just by bhakti. There are many instances in the scriptures. All these pastimes happen. It's real. It's not a myth. Ram Setu, the bridge built in ocean, how is that possible? And the NASA found out. The picture is still there. If you go Google it, you can see there is a bridge still found between India and Sri Lanka. If you go to Rameshwaram, south of India, from where Lord Rama went to Sri Lanka, there are stones floating to prove this fact. Floating stones, big stones, how it can float? It floats. That's a power. Power of devotion, power of the names. Just by writing the name of the Lord, stones started floating. And the Lord is not expecting you to be rich or poor. He is not expecting anything, no qualification to become a devotee. Again, a beautiful pastime of Lord Balaji in Tirumala. Tirumala, Tiru means holy, Mala means hill. So on top of the hill, the Lord performed his pastimes as Balaji. He is so famous, Tirupati Balaji is so famous. So there is a king called Tondaiman in the south. He is an ardent devotee of the Lord. He is a great powerful king also. So he was offering golden flowers to the lotus feet of the Lord and worshipping him. And there is a potter. He is a potter. Potter is poor. So he was offering mud flowers. He made mud flowers and he is offering the Lord. And Tondaiman, one day, he saw mud flowers in front of the Lord. He is offering golden flowers. That golden flowers are not visible. Only the mud flowers are visible. He was shocked. What is this? I am offering golden flowers. Only mud flowers are here. So he speaks to the Lord. He is a great devotee of the Lord. So he asked the Lord, how come there are mud flowers here? The Lord said, there is a potter who is an ardent devotee of mine. His devotion is more than you. That's why his flowers are here. Then the king said, I want to see him. So the Lord said, come, I'll take you. He was residing in the nearby village. And took him there. And both the potter and his wife were taken in the Vimana of the Lord. Lord gives darshan, going back home, back to Godhead. Finished. His lifetime finished. Then Tondaiman said, I also want to come in the Vimana. He said, no, you have to serve. You have time left. In your previous birth, you were a priest. You were a servant of the priest. You were also serving me as a priest. In between, you got attracted and left my service. So this birth, you have come as a king to serve me. When your service is finished, fulfilled, then I'll take you back home. To me only, don't worry. That is assured. Build me a temple. So the temple, even today, if you go inside the temple of Lord Balaji, Tirupati Balaji, you can see Thondaiman and his wife offering prayers to the Lord in this posture. You can see them there. In 11th canto, 11th chapter, verse number 28, Uddhava is telling, just like the vast sky, the vast sky is never entangled. The Lord is transcendental. But the Lord is controlled by love. He's telling to Krishna himself, you're controlled by love. You assume various forms. Why the Lord comes in various forms? Because he takes various incarnations to fulfill the devotee's desires. So, the Lord is controlled by love. There are very many pastimes. If we keep saying it, there is no end to it. Great devotees, they all set us examples. They all inspire us that this is your last lifetime. Come back to us. Because the devotees are all serving the Lord eternally. Transcendental service is not just here materially. Eternally, it's life after life. You keep serving the Lord. So, our spiritual master is eternal. And all the acharyas, spiritual masters, so they're all eternal. I can serve all of them in the golden city. We keep hearing this golden city, which is the city of Mahaprabhu. So we can serve eternally just by following Vaidhi sadhana, sincerely, with all enthusiasm, as mentioned by Srila Rupa Goswami. Utsaha nishchayat dhairyat, nectar of instruction verse, which says what we should do, what we should not do. The second verse and the third verse says that what we should do, what we should not do, so that we'll become a pure devotee of God. And I read again, by practicing sadhana bhakti, one may gradually rise to the point of raga bhakti, and by performing raga bhakti in devotional, loving, transcendental service, one can even control the supreme powerful God. So, taking inspiration from all the acharyas, if you go to Śrī Kṛṣṇa, even today, we can see the Gopinath with half-eaten laddu. So, the Lord reciprocates. We have so many pastimes within our temple itself. Nrsimhadev, Jagannath, Madhav, Lord Radha Madhav. Long time back, His Grace Pangajangiri Prabhu was telling this, that they were keeping milk for the Lord in the glass. And there was nobody. They keep and they come out. So, the tumbler was down. The milk was spilled. How come it happens? The tumbler is so hot, you can't even catch the glass. They started keeping a bowl and the glass after that. Because it's so hot, the Lord can't touch. His Grace Pangajangiri Prabhu was sharing this pastime, which happened in Radha Madhav altar. So Lord reciprocates. In his Archa Vigraha form, the Lord reciprocates. So, let us all have hope that Lord will take us back home, back to Godhead, and keep going. Are there any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Amma, Lord Sarvasya Chaham Ruti Sannivisto Mattas Smriti Mapohanancha. So Lord is all and all.
Okay.
Then how the individual is away from Bhakti Yoga at his own choice? What is the actual remedy behind and how far the individual responsible for his self-bhakti?
So your question is, Lord knows how the Lord knows, as the Lord knows everything as the Lord's question is the question is. So he is cognizant in the first Janmadhyā as he says,
Please chant Hare Krishna.
So the Lord is fully cognizant. He knows about everything. The answer is given in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam itself, that he is completely independent and completely knowledgeable, by which he knows everything, though he is residing within our hearts. Does that answer your question, Prabhu?
Mataji, kindly take rest, Mataji. For this we will discuss later in the next class. Now you take relaxation now. So my request is just relax for some time.
Sure, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for that wonderful question, Prabhu. Any other questions or comments? Madhav, you have a comment?
Hare Krishna Mataji, very nice class. It's not a comment, just regarding the devotional service. There is a thing, sloka, which I was taught by another senior devotee. In Chaitanya Chandramrita, it says that Acharya Dharma Paricharya Vishnu Vicharya Tirthani Vicharya Vedan Vinana Gaura Priyapada-sevā Vedanta Dushprapya Padam Vadanti. You know, the servings, I mean, I might know the knowledge, Acharyas, they know knowledge, Vedas, and living in the Dham, all that. By having all those things, they can get the liberation by worshipping Vishnu with but Mahaprabhu says that, if we don't serve the Acharya Dharma Paricharya Vishnu, if you don't serve the Gauranga devotees, Pada-seva, we don't get the liberation, we don't get the Krishna prema. So that's a beautiful, I always meditate on that, how Mahaprabhu is given that. So more than the liberation, we need the Krishna prema. Every day, after 10 offenses, we say, we need the Krishna prema. So by doing this devotional service, it's really is motivating and inspiring by listening every day. So I just want to say this. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thanks for sharing that, Prabhu, that we have to serve the lotus feet of pure devotees. And we can even see Vidra explaining further in this chapter that he glories the devotional service and association of pure devotees. And we can see here itself that just by śravaṇam, one can achieve the cessation of material miserable conditions by chanting and hearing the transcendental name, form, etc. of the Lord. And what to speak of those who have attained attraction in serving the lotus feet of the Supreme. So that's why we came with very many instances of pure devotees who have gained the attraction for serving the lotus feet of the Supreme. So that attraction towards serving the Supreme is very much recommended, where we see that all the misconceptions which we have diminished just by the practice of devotional service. And we can see that one serves the Lord out of sincere attachment. One gets attached. Get up and chant the 16 dawns before 10 o'clock in the morning. Attend Mangalarati every day. Then you will feel that day is inauspicious if you haven't attended Mangalarati or if you haven't chanted the 16 dawns by morning. It happens even to us. We can practice it and see that. So we develop that attachment. We get that ruchi, that taste. So nichta ruchi comes automatically just by following the rules and regulations given by the pure devotees. So we develop that attachment. And by attachment, we serve the Supreme, by which the Lord becomes controlled by the pure devotion of the devotees. So we can become pure as such by doing and following the process that's given by the pure devotees. And by sadhana, we can achieve bhava and prema, which is our goal. The sadhaka goal, sadhya, goal of a sadhaka is to achieve bhava, which leads to prema, love of Godhead, to the Supreme. So we see that. Thanks for that. So with this, yes, Mataji, you have a question or a comment?
Question. You mentioned that Mayavadis or Brahmavadis, they know even Bhagwan. Can you please some reference? They know, Brahman, Paramatma, and even Bhagwan.
Bhakti encompasses everything. Bhakti has everything. And in the previous verse,
but they are not.
In the previous verses, we see that the Mayavadis, there is the realization of the Lord in three phases as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So we can see that there are misconceptions of the Mayavadis and the Brahmavadis. All that can be taken off just by worshipping the Supreme Lord as Bhagavan. When you worship the Lord in Bhakti, as I have given very many references in the beginning, that just by practicing devotional service, we get the complete knowledge given by the Lord. The Lord Himself gives knowledge and detachment. So all the misconceptions are eradicated by practicing devotional service. Prabhupada mentions that also here. Without bhakti, even jnana, dhyana is all fruitless. It's all fruitless. It's given by our Acharya himself. So without the tinge of bhakti, there is no desired result. So just by practicing, devotional service, we attain the Supreme. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Sorry. No. The Mayavadis and Brahmavadis, they don't accept the Supreme as Bhagavan. That's my understanding. And you said they actually know that
their conception is about the Lord, is about Brahman. Three ways to see the Lord. See, Paramatmavadis, the Dhyanis see the Lord as Paramatma. So there is Brahman, the Lord is seen as Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. I am not saying that the Mayavadis see the Lord as Bhagavan. They see the Lord as Brahman. I never mentioned as such. The Lord is seen in different ways by different translators. I also gave reference from first canto, first chapter, verse number 10. Brahmaiti Paramatmedi Bhagavan idi sabdyate. So that is their ideology. But the ultimate is Bhakti Yoga. That is also given here. It is the easiest process compared to all other processes. Here it is mentioned direct engagement. Prabhupada mentions that. It is direct engagement in service. Srila Prabhupada talks about the express elevator. If you want to go 100 floors in a building, going by staircase or by elevator, which is easy. So Bhakti Yoga is like the elevator, it is express. And success is guaranteed. It's assured that you will reach the goal. But going by steps, we don't know whether we'll reach the destination or not. So, we see here that just by practicing Bhakti Yoga, one can come out of the unlimited miserable conditions. Thanks for all your comments and wonderful questions. With this, we conclude the session. Srimad Bhagavatam Grantaraj ki jai, Śrī Prabhupada ki jai, Śrī Gurudev ki jai, Ant Koti Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, with a Gaura Premanand. Hare Krishna. Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Hari Om Tat Sat.